Jay here. So we've been having a few issues going on. One is that the battery didn't seem to be charging off the shore power or the generator power. So I did some troubleshooting with some stuff I found online, my voltage meter, and on the Magnetek 6000 series converter charger that's installed in Lady T, and determined that the charger portion is not working. Also, when you open it up and look inside, there's a cooling fan in there that wasn't spinning either, so that may have been part of the problem. Maybe it stopped spinning and cooling the system down, which caused it to burn out or something. So we went online, did some research, went through the forums and did some other things, and found that the guys over at bestconverter.com have an upgrade kit for the Magnetek 6000 series. So pretty much just take the old guts out, put the new guts in, and go wire for wire. From what I've seen online with their instructions and a couple of videos, it's only take about a half an hour, but typical J&J style, it'll probably take a couple of days. Anyway, I just got the package today, so I'm going to open that up, take a look at it. I'm going to read through the instructions a couple more times, and then maybe I'll do the install today on the Lady T. So anyway, let's have a look at the package. Alright, so it actually came a day early, which is kind of cool. So this is the Ultra 3 conversion kit. And it says right there for a Magnetek 63000 series switching power supply. So it came from the guys at bestconverter.com. I read some good reviews on the guys over there, and their great instructions on the website and availability by phone for any help that you may need. So it looks pretty simple. It's just a few wires. You got your new fuse box here, fuse panel, got built-in 30 amp fuses. So we just got to make sure we write down how the fuses are now, so we can, when we put it in, we can match them up. But like I said, all indications are this should be half an hour job. But things we usually do tend to go longer. So anyway, we're gonna take a look at the inside of this box. I'm gonna read the instructions a few times, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here is the current Magnetek Power Plus. This is the brains of the operation. So here we got our fuse box, fuse panel, so AC switches, and then the 12 volt side over there. So this is probably, I'm going to say this is an original 22-year-old charger converter. And there is you take these 4 screws off, the guts are down there, and there's a fan in there that doesn't turn anymore. So I'm assuming that's part of the problem. So hopefully when we replace this charger and inverter or converter, it'll take care of the battery not charging issue. So I'm going to go ahead and take these screws off, take this panel off, and I'll show you the inside. So this is the inside. If you can see way in the back there, there's a fan. That does not turn when it's on. Right in the corner there. And it looks like there's a ton of dust right on it. I did use a couple of a can of air. I tried to blow the dust out a couple of weeks ago. The canned air just isn't powerful enough. You really need to get the... So you got 2 bolts on either side, and here. So that'll allow the whole thing to slide out once you get it all disconnected. I am not going to do anything in here until I disconnect the batteries and shut off all the power. And make sure it's not plugged in, make sure your generator is not running, make sure you disconnect your batteries so there's no power or no chance of power running through this as you're playing with the wires in there. So the new fuse panel should go here. It should match 1 for 1. Then you have your negative and your positive for the battery. And this, I don't think they're going to use that on the new one. That's the converter / charger extra wire or something. I'm not really sure. But then all this is going to come out, slide the new one in, match wire for wire, and hopefully we're good to go. So I'm going to go disconnect the batteries and we'll be back. What I did here, well, I didn't do anything here, but took a picture of the fuse box, the fuse panel, the way it is, the wiring, and I wrote it down on a piece of paper, which one is which, the fuse type 15, 20, 5, and the wire color coming out the bottom. So we need to make sure that's right when we put the new one in. And I was wrong. The new panel is going to have the blue wire, which is the converter positive. So here's the new one. It's got built-in 30 amp fuses on there. So essentially we're going to take the blue wire and put it up here. And you have your positive and negative battery wires. So here is the converter out of the package. Looks a lot neater than that one down there. So you got 3 wires here. Just gotta look up and make sure what those are for. And here's your battery, positive and negative. So these should go on here, and then the ones coming from the battery will also go on the opposite side. So what I went and got my laptop because Best Converter does have great, as I said, great instructions on the website. And here it gives you step by step, what you're gonna do, which wires go where, and everything else. So I'm gonna follow that, and hope we can't get this taken care of. Hope we can get this taken care of in a matter of minutes. The instructions on the website say 30 minutes. A couple of YouTube videos I've seen say 30 minutes. I'm gonna say at least an hour, because I'm gonna be taking video in the middle and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and first thing I'm gonna do is take all these colored wires out of the bottom, positive and negative, and take that fuse panel out. And then I'm gonna go down to the bottom here, take the 4 screws out, and once I disconnect the wires from there, it should just slide right out. So I already disconnected the batteries, both batteries, just to be safe, the coach battery and the car battery. So there's no chance of power running through here. stopped recording after like 31 minutes, which is fine. I guess we can just pick up from here, but I think it was at the point where I was just about to put the converter in. So the new converter is installed. It's just not all wired up yet. So here's the new one. It just slides right in. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and hook up the wires here. This is where the old blue converter power was coming in on the old one. Now with the new one, you only need the one positive wire, and that's gonna power the whole block here. So up here on the positive side, we're just gonna have this wire. This goes to the battery, so that's gonna go into there. This is the old, okay, this is the, not the old, but this is the battery negative, so that's gonna go down here. And this is the negative for the converter charger. It's gonna go down here as well. And then we're gonna go ahead and connect all the wires just like they were on the old one, and match them up, put the fuses in. We got that in there nice and tight. This one I'm actually gonna So all these are wired in properly, tightly, no hanging gotchas, as I call them. Maybe there's one there. No. No, that's not. That's fine. Okay. So I'm just going to give these another little quick slight turn, just to make sure they're all nice and tight. Okay, we can close this one. We're not going to use this because again we're using this one that would normally go there on the old one, but on the new one you only need that one positive wire to power everything. So you get your two negatives, and then that's it. That's all wired up. Okay, so that's all wired up. So it looks like the old one. Okay, the converter's in there. Now I'm gonna take this ground wire, put it on the ground panel up here, and then this I'm just gonna let hang for a minute, because I think it is just a hot wire from a regular power outlet, like a household type outlet. I'm going to put the fuses in. Just going to match them up exactly how they were before. That'd probably be a little easier. Okay, so a moment of truth. Got the batteries hooked up. So if we flip the light switches here, we got our DC power. Okay, so we know this is the outside light up here. I tested the step light. Step went up. The rear ladder lights came on. So now I'm going to flip the switches for the AC. I plugged in the shore power outside. So I flip the main one. Oh, and the fan works anyway. I can hear the fan blowing around in there. So I tested the battery before I plugged everything in. It was at 11.89 volts. So I'm going to go ahead and test that again. If everything's working properly, there should be 12 plus volts on the coach battery right now. So it should be reading the the volts coming in from the charger. I got the So, handy dandy volt tester here. Alright, so we got 13.23, steady 13.23, so it is charging. It is, the charger is giving it 13 volts, which is what it's supposed to do. So that tells me that the converter is installed properly and it is charging. Now what I'm going to do is test the power outlets, the household type outlets. Back, we have success. So let's do a little wrap up here. So the old converter slash charger, the Magnetek 6300 series, which is over there, the charger quit working. So whether we were on generator or shore power, it wasn't charging the coach battery. So what I did is I found some testing procedures online, like a little flow chart. Put your voltmeter here, remove this wire, add this wire, kind of thing. And it came back as the converter was good. So when I was plugged into the shore power or on the generator, it was making electricity, and we could run the microwave, we could run the air conditioner, run all the lights, everything, but it was not charging the battery. So the charger was good, but the charger portion of the converter charger was not working. So I went online, did some research on the forums, and just the internet in general. Came across bestconverter.com. Saw nothing but good reviews, and they had an exact upgrade, kit for this exact model. So what it is this new portion is the bottom section there. So you got and it came with a new fuse block. Now it looks a little bit different than the old one. The old one over here had this section here, which is this, was the converter power, and then on the back you had the converter / charger going to here for positive, here for negative, and on the front you had your coach battery, positive and negative. On the new one, the coach positive and negative is, the coach battery positive is here and negative here. The converter power is now up here where the old blue one used to be on the other one, instead of here. So the new one only needs the one power to run everything, and then you have the negative down here for the converter. The other thing that's different on the new one is it has a ground wire, so I had to attach that to the ground bar. You have your neutral wire, goes to the neutral bar, and the other black one that was on it, the hot wire, goes into the breaker switch, and that powers the converter. So if I hit this off, it shuts off the converter, and we don't want to do that. So everything seems to be working as is. I tested the battery. We're getting a constant 13.2 volts, which means it is charging, because before I turned the converter on it was at 11.89, which means it was discharged quite a bit. So I'm going to leave it plugged into the shore power for a while to get that battery charged up real good. I'm going to go ahead and put the panel back on here. The only thing that's new is the bottom part in the 12 volt fuse block. It uses the same breakers, all the existing wiring in the back, and it uses the existing front panel to enclose it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that panel on, and I'm going to consider this a complete project. And it only took a couple hours, but like I said, researching online, people said it took them a half an hour, but when you're taking video to put up on YouTube and to share it with everybody, it takes a little bit longer. Anyway, I'm still very happy with this converter. Their upgrade kit and the instructions on their website are fantastic. You can find links to that below in the description, and I guess that's it. So we'll put this cover back on and leave it charged up, leave it plugged into shore power for a while and keep it charged up, and we're good to go.